Hi, in this video I'm going to be discussing the human gait cycle, but I'm going to be doing it walking code style. When I say walking code style, I mean we're not going to be simply looking at the positions of the feet and the legs as they go through the gait cycle. We're going to be looking at how we use our mind connected to our core to create a real functional gait with maximum fluidity and efficiency and minimal impact on the joints. The human gait cycle follows the path of one leg as it goes through a full stride. Now, what is the difference between a step and a stride? A step follows the path of the body from the placement of one heel, for instance, my right heel, to the placement of the next heel, which is the left heel. In a stride, we are really taking two steps, and so we're following the body from the placement of one heel, in this case the right heel, all the way to the placement of that heel the second time. The gait cycle is broken up into two phases, the stance phase and the swing phase. In the stance phase of gait, the leg that we're looking at will be in contact with the ground the entire time. In the swing phase, that leg separates from the ground and the swing phase ends when heel contact is made again. In this video, we're going to look at each phase of gait, and we're going to look at what the body is doing to create that functional movement. In addition to the two primary phases of gait, the stance phase and the swing phase, we also break the gait cycle down into smaller bits based on what function is occurring at one particular time. The stride begins with initial contact with the heel on the ground. This is going to be the initial contact and the beginning of the first phase of gait. The first phase of the stance phase is going to be the loading response phase. During the loading response, the weight is changed to the standing leg and the forefoot is lowered to the ground, and all of the weight is removed from the swing leg, which is trailing behind. So all of my weight during the loading response is going to be on this right leg with the foot flat on the ground. After the loading response phase, we have the initiation of single leg stance. In single leg stance, only one leg is on the ground and the other leg is swinging. The first phase of single leg stance is the mid-stance phase. During the mid-stance phase, we go from the end of the loading response phase to the beginning of the heel lift phase. During this time, my standing leg is going to be flat on the ground, and I'm going to be stepping forward as my swing leg moves forward, and the swing leg is going to move to a point where the knee is forward and the tibia is going to be slightly forward. In the heel lift phase, the heel of the standing leg is going to come off the ground, and that is going to end when the swing leg makes initial contact. The heel lift phase ends when we reach double leg stance again. So both feet are now on the ground. The heel of the standing leg is slightly lifted off the ground, and the heel of the new standing leg has just placed. After the heel is lifted from the ground, we have the pre-swing phase. This is the final stance phase of gait. Pre-swing is going to begin at heel lift, and it's going to end at toe off. At toe off, the toes of the right foot are going to leave the ground, and that is going to be the initiation of the swing phase. The first part of the swing phase is going to be mid-swing, where the swing leg travels forward from the toe-off position to a position forward of the new standing leg. And then we conclude with terminal swing. Terminal swing is going to occur at the same time the standing leg is going through the heel lift phase. This is the final swing phase and ends when the right heel contacts the ground again.